All right, so over the past weekend, we've been working on a project on Friday and Saturday. Not a super hard process, but it is very tedious. This is a before shot of the building before we started painting. The first part of the video, we are mostly just doing prep. The taping and putting the plastic down and covering the windows all together took about 7 hours to complete.
So we had a friend with us. He's a professional painter. He does it for a living. He offered to show us how to use the spray gun. We all just got together to do this project for the church.
We painted one of two rooms, so there's probably gonna be another video coming out of us doing the other room. The first thing we had to do to get this project going was move everything out. There's a lot of furniture and stuff in there because the rooms are used as classroom space. So a lot of furniture, a lot of chairs, a lot of tables. You'll see, us moving things throughout the video. It's a lot of stuff. We were on kind of a time constraint because obviously we can't be painting while church is going on Sunday. We did feel a little bit of pressure there to get it done.
There was 4 of us. It took us about 15 hours or so to complete it. We started at like 5 o'clock on Friday and we finished at about 9. And on Saturday we started at 10 and finished around 9 as well.
That prep takes a really long time. Probably about 90% of the work that we did was prep. About 2 hours of it was actually painting. The rest of it was just prep and cleanup.
And waiting for it to dry.
Well, also a little bit slower because this was our first time and we were being pretty cautious and liberal with our tape and making sure everything's covered so we didn't ruin anything.
We've never used a spray gun before, so that definitely made things pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looks good. It's a little scary before it dries. Just be prepared for that. It's a little scary. You might look at it and say, oh man, it looks super uneven, and you just don't worry about it. The paint is drying. Just trust the process. So just give it some time to kind of finish drying out. For us, anyways, that next day when it was finished drying, that's really when we saw our work come together. All in the prep, yeah. But this project was kind of tricky because the people who painted it the first time, they used the oil-based paint, and then the second time it was painted with water or latex-based paint on top of that first coat. So it wasn't really sticking. The existing paint wasn't sticking properly. So we had a lot of scraping and sanding to do. Because if you have peeling paint and then you spray over it, the air from the spray gun will get down into the, it'll get behind that paint that's peeling. It'll cause a bubble, and when it bubbles out, that's not a good look. That's not something you want. So you gotta make sure you scrape it real good, sand all of it so it's nice and smooth. That way there's no access for that air to get behind and create those bubbles. So that took us about 4.5 to 5 hours of just scraping and sanding. So that's something else to be prepared for. But we'll list all of our supplies that we used, all the equipment that we used. We'll list all that in the description, and just so you can get an idea of what you're going to need.
If you're interested in doing any type of painting like this, I would highly recommend it. Even though it did take a long time, it came out very nice. It costs a little bit more money to spray it, but overall, it's definitely worth it if you're trying to make a business out of it.